Hi, my name is Brandon I. Brooks. I'm the managing editor with the Los Angeles Sentinel newspaper and the LA Watch Times newspaper. And it's my absolute pleasure today to be here with Mr. Nolan Rollins, the president of the Los Angeles Urban League. How are you today?
I'm wonderful, Brandon. How are you today?
I'm doing absolutely excellent, and I do appreciate your time today because we know you're a very busy man in your schedule, but we are here today for a momentous occasion, as I would like to say, but an important reason of a testament to your work and the trailblazing work you are doing.
Sure. My journey to this position at the Los Angeles Urban League, started when I was a young man. I finished law school in Florida, went back to Baltimore, and then the CEO of the Urban League there in Baltimore said, listen, when you get your first real job, I want you to do something. Well, what he wanted me to do was to start the Urban League Young Professionals. So I started the Baltimore chapter of the Urban League Young Professionals. We went from there not being anything in that space to us having over 500 members locally in Baltimore. And then he said, you know what, I want you to come work with me. So I became his COO, and I worked for him for about 3.5 years. At the same time, I became the president of the National Urban League Young Professionals. So I had 10,000 members around the nation. I had 67 chapters and was the first to sit on the National Urban League's board. So, you have this young 20-something sitting on the National Urban League's board with, captains of industry, Fortune 500 CEOs and really powerful people around the nation. But I was there as a voice of our generation. I was there as a voice that said, we have this institution that is the National Urban League that's over 105 years old now, but we've got to make sure that institution can last another 105 years. So what is it that we need to do to make this institution relevant to our generation? So we spent a lot of time doing that. So as people saw me being trained and learning, really learning from some of the masters in this work, the national office came to me and said, we're interested in you going to an affiliate to actually be a president and CEO. So they came to me and brought 12 opportunities to me, and none of them were really that interesting. And then they came back and said, what do you think about New Orleans? Now, this is post-Katrina. And I said, that's exactly where I want to go. I'm a simple builder. I'm a simple builder, so I'm interested in building. I'm interested in how do we help our community be everything that it's supposed to be? How do we make sure that there's real equity and opportunity, that there's equity, economic opportunity, those kinds of things. So I was in New Orleans for 5 years. When we started, we had 12 people working with us. Budget was under $1 million. When I left, we had 67 people working with us. The budget was $8 million. Very proud of the work that we did there. I mean, we put, in 1 year, we put about $4 million just into the hands of people coming back from Hurricane Katrina, helping them to get refrigerators, helping them to get their lights turned on, helping them to get down payments on their rental apartments and things like that. I mean, just real work that an institution like ours has got to be able to do on the ground. So I think they said, listen, your work here needs to be turned over to someone else, and said, you're going to LA. So I've been in LA now for about 24 months. Really love the opportunity here. I think that the Urban League has just tremendous potential to be just amazing here, focused on economic development first and foremost, and I make no apologies about that. I said to you a little earlier, I mean, for me, this conversation about poverty, it's not an emotional conversation. Poverty is an economic state. So if we don't have economic solutions for poverty, then we're not interested in solving the challenges of poverty. So those challenges come with access. So how do we make sure that places like the airport are creating real opportunity for local businesses to thrive and local businesses to participate? How are we making sure at places like the airport that we're getting human capital from our neighborhoods, from people who are actually now can work at places like the airport? So when I talk about this airport being just a tremendous economic engine, it's a tremendous economic engine for putting people back to work, a tremendous economic engine for helping businesses to realize their ultimate dreams of being able to do business with a billion-dollar airport. So, being here in LA, being on the commission, but also being the president and CEO of the Los Angeles Urban League, I think provides just a tremendous entree, not just for a generation, but a tremendous entree for these unique voices that really know what's happening in our communities and really understand the solutions that need to be put forth in order to make our communities a better place for everyone to live, where we don't have to leave our community to find success, where we can stay right where we live in whatever zip code that we're in and find the success that we're looking for because we're building it together. So, my journey through the Urban League has just been an amazing one. I am the most blessed person that you will ever meet. I'm clearly, clearly God has his hand on my life. He clearly has his hand on the way that I'm moving, because the truth is I'm every statistic that you've ever read about. I'm a young black man from Baltimore City, born to a single, an unwed mother in very dire circumstances where we were on public assistance. So everything that you can think about in terms of that stereotypical boy not being able to be successful, well, that's me. I was in Head Start. I remember the lunches. I remember free lunch. I remember all of those things. I mean, that was the life that I actually lived. And I think it's the thing that colors the way that I do the work that I do now. Because I know that there's a young kid who looks like me, who's in the situation that I was in, who's going through exactly what I went through at that time. And if I can't be in a position to help that young person, well, I shouldn't be the president of the Urban League. That's what our organization needs to be doing.